Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you on this, what are we now? Wednesday, hump day. Yeah, it's Wednesday, yeah. December 6th, 2023. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here. Hope you all had a great evening last night. And I hope you're all ready for what appears to be a bullish wall of worry. Another day of bullish of a bullish wall of worry. I guess that's the way to put it. That's where I think we are. If you were here last night, by the way, let's see here. I was looking at the dark chart, and I was talking about how I am still very bullish on the market, but it doesn't mean I have to buy, because that's where we're going to turn to a little more detail, a little more to the candle pattern, the price action, the setups. And but overall, the market is still very, very bullish. If we look at the 3-bar chart, got a little flat right here, a little concerned. I don't like flat like this when the lines flatten out. I don't mind it when price flattens out, but I don't really like lines flatten out. If we look at the hourly chart, you can see that we got pretty doggone choppy, even to the point where whoops. Where did all the bulls go? And that's what that is right there. T2123 remains, where am I here? I made those last night. I was looking at that. There we go. You can see the 15-minute chart is showing what I would call a little bit of chop, where the 60-minute chart is showing still bullishness. Now, if somebody follows the daily, I don't particularly do that, but I do like looking at it like this right now, because it just makes me feel good. Oops, 2123. There we go. Still didn't do it right, did I? T2123. There we go. There we go. It just makes you feel good when you can see that red, the bearishness, turn into bullishness. And as long as that's bullish, as long as that's a trend, well, the bulls are still there. Now, I monitor it on the 60-minute and the 15-minute. Last night, I pointed out at the public e-learning that if you are a follower of MACD, maybe I'm looking at MACD differently than anyone else would, but it sure looks like the momentum is in place and certainly looks like it's working. So I have to go with the bullishness. I am going to add that wall of worry to it, that's for sure. I am going to do that. So what I did here this morning, real quick, before I came on, is I put our quadrant lines from this high down to this low. The low kind of covers everything. I suppose if somebody wanted a little lower low for whatever reason, you could certainly do that. I took this low right here, right there, I guess, right in here. And this looks like that's the highest high in the past X amount of candles. And this gives us our 50% retracement. And we cleared that yesterday. That's what I mentioned yesterday, as I need to see that above, and so far it is. And we're getting a little follow through this morning. I am a bit, I'm not worried, but when you're looking at charts, you look at things. And I can't help not to look at that right there. And we need to clear that area. So really, a great target to shoot for is going to be about this area right in here. So about 459.50 or so, I think would be a fantastic target for the SPY to shoot for. And if it gets it, well, it puts all this behind it, and we just may be golden to get to those bigger numbers up here. 464, 471 area, okay? So that's a little bit on the SPY there. Let's take a look at IYT, the transports. Transports got a little nicked yesterday. See, oh, that won't show up real time. That's got a little nicked yesterday, but I think we're up a little bit this morning on it. So maybe a little bit. So maybe we'll turn back up. What we don't want is, the transports to start sinking. We like the transports to stay up there. Oh, hey, Bobby, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's recorded. It's on YouTube now. And, yeah, if anyone missed it and wants to re-see it. The next one is SMH. I think this is very important. And I'm going to draw me my little thing up here. I'll show you. SMH put a hammer in. Maybe not quite, or maybe a little bit of bullish engulf. Looks like we're having a little follow through. We still need to break out. I don't, you know, I think we need a little more bullishness. And here's how I'm going to attack that bullishness. I'm going to take that high, and I'm going to go down to this low, and then I'm going to paint this right in here. That's what we need to be over. Pretty much over the T-line. So if SMH can move over this little 50% area, and then it will be over the T-line, that will give us a buy signal. Now I have a fair amount. I looked at some of these last night. I'm going to skip some of them. I added some this morning. I should have made a single list for this morning. That's the ones I want to attack here. Let's take TSLL. Maybe let's take Tesla first. There's Tesla. So Tesla, we put that 50% line on there. Yesterday I'd mentioned, well, that's what we need to get through. Here we popped up yesterday. We got in there, but we didn't close in there. And this is where this is where I feel I want to be very, very picky. Now, it is very buyable right now. It was buyable yesterday. There's nothing wrong with that price action. I think you've got, as far as support goes, the 50-period moving average. I think it's great. It just becomes a trader's choice. What is a trader going to do? What are you going to do? How do you trade this? Because everybody trades a little different. So buying it in here, hey, I get it. I personally, well, what did I say last night? PP something, personal, doggone it, I didn't write it down either. Personal trade, I don't know. Yeah, I'll think about it. But once we get over this area here, to me, that opens up the bullishness for a very tradable chart. You've got the momentum working, you've got a breakout working, you've got a lot working for you here for a very tradable chart. And if we, let's see, where is it? There it is. If we come over here, let's move this down, and just, you know, consider this high over here at what about we'll call it 279. That gives us almost a 12% move in Tesla, almost 12, a little less than that actually, from the top of this green box. So just one to think about. So now let's look at TSLL. This is probably the one I would buy. And there's already that box there. I put that up there from once upon a time. So I'm going to leave that there. So we move this up, our price moves up. This becomes a buy area at about about 1480 or so. If somebody was to say, hey, I'm going to wait till it breaks out, that makes perfectly sense. I would admire the heck out of you for having a plan and working the chart. So here's a chart that I have on the watch list called BULZ. It pretty much takes the FANG stocks and tells you kind of what they're doing. It's a FANG leveraged ETF is what it is. And there's our 50% line from the top to those bottoms right there. So that's what I would be looking for. And if we don't get there, I'm not going to buy it. Okay, so it's not going to buy. I want to see us close. So this right now to me is a candidate for a buy on the close today. I guess one place where I might throw that out the window is if this thing starts jamming, and I might try to get into the jam a little bit. You know, I mean, if it just starts rocking, I might want to get into that. Other than that, if it's just going to be a wall of worry and, you know, just do what it's going to do, I'm going to wait till it breaks out. That will be my new base. That will be my new stop area. And now I will put together a trade just like typically would. We'll have a low. We will have a high. Absolutely, we're going to have a pullback. And I'll simply wait for those buyers to move in. And that simple trade, just like that right there. Another one I think I put, MU. I put that up this morning. And here's another one. Here's your top. There's your bottom. I get it if traders want to buy in here. Just have a plan. My plan, good, bad, or indifferent, is this is what I'm going to wait for. So it will be a breakout over, I don't know, 70, we'll call it 76, something like that. So what that'll do is it will give the time for the bottom to manifest. It will give time for the momentum to kick in, because now the only momentum is downhill. There is no upward momentum here. We could probably go to an hourly maybe. Yeah, there's a little hourly momentum trying to get in there. So that, I guess that would be one way to trade it off that. But I'm going to wait for the daily momentum, because I truly believe if I focus on a daily chart that has good positive momentum in the direction I want to trade, which means shorting can be positive momentum as well. But I want positive momentum in the chart that I'm looking at. I want matching positive momentum in the market. And that's what I'm looking at. NVIDIA. Let's talk about NVIDIA. All right. NVIDIA can potentially still be a short. In anything under the T-line, as far as I'm concerned, could potentially be a short. And every single one of them can potentially be a long. So, where do you draw your line? Which side of town do you hang out on? I mean, that's, that's what you got to ask yourself. If you're a bull and you're hanging out on this side of town, well, you're going to come home and tell your spouse a lie on where you were. That's just the fact of life. On the other hand, if you're a bull and you're waiting for it to move up here and you come home late at night, you're going to just share everything there is to your spouse on where you were. You have no problems to worry, none to concern. So decide which side of town you're going to hang out on and which lie you're going to tell. Simple as that. So nothing wrong with buying this long here. There is nothing wrong with buying short here. I wouldn't do that, but no short setup yet, no price action. But you have a choice. We have a choice as a trader. My choice is I'm going to look at this both directions now. I have an open mind, both long and short. And for long, and the only reason I have this up long is because I noticed this morning there was a little bit of follow through after yesterday's bullish engulf. So here we go. I'm going to wait till it moves up there. So my trade for NVIDIA, if I choose to be in NVIDIA, somewhere around 10%. And at, $500 stock, that is a lot of cash, man. Let's see, AMD I added this morning because it was coming up on the scanner. Here's our midpoint here, our 50%. So over 120, 121 area is what I would look for that as bullish. Below that remains bearish. So let's look at this. Now we've got two really nice candles here, okay? We really do. Probably should have done with NVIDIA as well. You can ditto this right on the video, NVIDIA. So you've got a nice little bottom right here. We're having a nice little follow through. I want it to be above this area to be bullish. So anything below this area is bearish. That's what that means. So now let's take this top and move down. Let me paint this red. Take this top and move down and then move up. All we have here is a bear flag. That is all. So I needed to move up. Another scenario, I guess, could be, another scenario is we could pull back again, suck all the bears in, come down here, the buyers find it, and then pull it back up. And now you're going to have, let's change the color here. Now you're going to have a low, a high, a higher low or double bottom, then well, you know what? That puts us right back at that 50% line, okay? So we have to break out of that high. Apple. I added Apple this morning. Apple is a buy, period. Nice move yesterday. On follow through, it's real simple with candlesticks. Above the previous candle, that shows positive trading. The chart is in momentum. Apple's a buy. Google, not a buy. Not for me. It would be for somebody that wants to buy the bottom. Nothing wrong with that. Just have your rules in there. I see being above 135.40 or so, that's where the buy comes into play. And what that will give us is that low, high, and we will have a pullback. I'm not sure about that. I'm not even remotely concerned about that. That will happen. And then we can look for the buy. 1, 2, 3, and this is the line we want to be over right there. I think that was it. Last night, if you received, excuse me, man. Last night, if you received my, was it last night or the night before? I can't remember now. I think it was the night before. GWRE video. I love this chart. I loved it so much, I forgot to look at the earnings. I apologize for that, so keep track of that. I was very kind of one of the, my YouTubers, mentioned this in the YouTube, and I caught it. And I, thank you very much. YouTube, everybody goes by a different name. I don't know who you are. But if it happens to be somebody here, thank you very much. Appreciate it. If it's somebody that listens to YouTube next and you hear this, thank you very much. But it has earnings, so be a little careful with that, okay? Yeah, a little careful with that. Love the chart, just earnings. Do you buy TSL stock or options? I buy the options, T. Yeah, I buy the options. I buy almost everything options. Almost options. But yeah. And I'll definitely post it out there. When the market opens, we'll look at some possibilities, things like that. Hey, Brad, good morning. Could you, sure, I sure can. Do the quads on CAT. Yeah, let's just dump all that right there. So, ultimately, what would we want CAT to do? Well, we'd want it to go right back up here, right? But, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Pie in the sky is nice, and there's no doubt that someday that could happen. But if you're in this room, you're a short-term swing trader. So really, what you're really looking for this to do is maybe get to that next level. That next level would be right here. The next level would be October 17th high, okay? So this is the level I'm going to use. I'm going to move that because it kind of gets in the way. So we're going to take this and we're going to come on down to that low. And you can see how it could have been bought right here. Could have been using some T-line rules, using some pinball rules, things like that, perhaps. Something like that. And look where we went, right into that 50% retracement, even got just a little bit over that. Here we pulled back, could have been bought in here. Knowing that 50% retracement, the 50% retracement is not bad. I think it is great in all directions. I think it's a magnet for price. I think it's a place to turn price around. I think it's for price to develop a launch pad. So I'm very fond of the 50% area. Now it's a matter of putting price action in there. Sorry, that was a little getting more than what you probably want to know. So here we are actually with that 50% acting as support, a launch pad. I love that. I love that a lot right there. So I think that's looking very cool. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use something. I can't say that it's a slam dunk stop area. Something in there may be a slam dunk stop area. I don't think it matters to CAT. I'll check it here. CAT doesn't matter. It's 3.25%. So that's affordable, I suppose. So bottom line is if a stop for CAT might be down here like that. I'm probably not going to do that because if you go through and put the scenarios of what kind of candles could push us down, there's no scenario to say I want to be in it. There's zero scenario to say I want to take it that low. So I would have to put a tighter stop. So I'm going to ask myself, why do I like the 50 period, or why do I like this chart? Well, because it's about to become a rounded bottom breakout. It's over the 50 period moving average. So that's where my stop is going to be, right there. So I just took 3.25. If I was to buy it right now, And I just made that a 1.5% stop. I either want to be right or I don't want to be in it. Okay. Sorry, that was way long. I apologize. I do. Way over my time here. But anyway, I love cat. So I hope that was helpful. We'll do, Mike will be the last one here, and then I got to go. Wheat. Wheat is, yeah, look at wheat rock. Yeah, maybe too high to be buying, but this is, anytime you say to yourself, I wish I was in this stock earlier, or you say to yourself, well, it's too high to be buying, that right there is the chart you want on your watch list. That is the perfect chart for your watch list, because all you're doing is waiting for that opportunity. Everything else is in play. Market seems like it's okay, wall worry. The chart has turned over to the upside, has gone bullish from bearish to bullish. Yeah, nice chart. Let's go ahead and flag that. Thank you very much. Put that on the watch list. Really quick on fuel cell here. Fuel cell. Fuel cell might be a buy if it, follows through. That's the perfect chart we want. Yesterday's candle, not happy with that. Trend-wise, it's got everything going for it. Rounded bottom breakout, everything going for it. So what it is, it's just a matter of finding that entry. What trips your trigger for an entry? Is it down low right here? Nothing wrong with that. What I want to do is I want to look at where I think it can go. Well, I think it can go right there. For the first, let's check that. Yeah, for the first move, I think so. Not the first candle move, but for the first, the next little run, I think it can go up there. So we're talking 24% from about where you are, or 17% if it starts to show bullishness. Where's your trade? It's real simple now. Well, and what's best for you? Entry here, entry up here. Anyway, thanks. Nice. Let's flag that. Thank you. 10 is setting up. The solars are setting up. Okay. ENPH, and they all look fantastic. They all really look good. FSLR, that one kind of sucks pond water, to tell you the truth. I like your first two much, much better, Mike. Yeah, I like those two better. I like pretty. That's not pretty, although it's setting up, okay? But yeah, solar is looking pretty good here. Solar's looking good. All right, guys, I am super late. I got to get going. We'll see you later. Bottom of the hour, 20 minutes, okay? Thanks.